What's up, guys? So, recently the first stage of the World Cup of Pokemon has just finished up. It's one of the biggest sort of team tournaments per year on the website, and I was a part of it. Team Oceania, we're a pretty good team. We, have made playoffs a lot. Recently, we've won 3 times, but I've been seeing other guys who played in the tournament on YouTube, like Lax, Freezeye, some others, maybe some smaller ones. Blunder used to upload his, but I thought I'd just, record this a little unscripted sort of analysis, just going through the games I played. I played 3 games for Australia this year. Maybe look at a story. Might be interesting, might be informative if you sort of are interested in getting into higher level play, maybe. Because, these games they're supposed to be the top level we play at, right? So I guess we'll just get right into it. Don't want to do too long an intro. My first game was against Oxifox. Great player. Has won the official ladder tournament before, which is one of the more prestigious individuals. He's from the US South. They split the US into 4 regions because of the overall population. And I suppose we should just get right into it. We see he leads Pult. I sort of predict that, and I lead my... let me slow it down, actually. Sorry, this is a improvise. You can tell it's not scripted. But I will lead my Enamorus here. Yeah, that's more like it. I like to lead Enamorus with this team. This is a sort of offense I've had in the builder for a while. I like to bluff Scarf because it's more common, but in reality it's actually a Specs Enamorus, which lets me dent the Moltres really hard with a Moonblast. I expect him to roost here, so I try to get momentum gain by going hard on a Samurott, but credit to Ox, great play, goes for a U-turn, but he's sacrificing HP on Moltres to do so. That does give him some momentum though. I have to switch back to Enamorus. Eats a Ceaseless Edge, which does, a non-insignificant amount of damage to me. I have chip on Moltres, so I just rip another Moonblast, even though I think gold might come in, but it's fine. I scout it, I see it's likely a choice item. No air balloon, no lefties, took a good amount of damage, probably more offensive. So I just go into my Samurott. I decide to bluff Sucker Punch. I don't have it, but I pretend I do. And I just go for a Surf. I'm trying to catch the Tusk as it comes in, but I end up getting Samurott. I know he's adamant from the damage and I'm jolly, so I just go for a Ceaseless Edge to get my Spike up, which gives me some leverage later on, like it'll force him to spin, for example. He goes into Moltres here. I go into my Slowking Galar. I'm Assault Vest, so I'm just sort of waiting. He goes U-turn, good play. I expect he goes Samurott here. I just rip a Sludge into it. I don't know why I didn't go Garg. I guess he just wanted more offensive momentum, but I end up getting the Poison, which is really lucky because it confirms me to kill on that Samurott, which I believe is Assault Vest from that damage. But here comes Tusk. It's Boots. I predict he's going to spin here, predicting my switch to Enamorus because he doesn't want to get outsped. So I just stay in and go for a very aggressive Ice Beam, which does work out for me. And now he's on very low HP. So what I do is I go into my own Tusk. I eat that Headlong, which is obviously aimed for my Slowking. Kill it with a Rocky Helmet. Take that down. So we're actually in a pretty good spot here. Gold comes in. I know it's Scarfed, so I go into my Slowking Galar to just try and eat it because I, barely survive 2, not with a Spidef drop, unfortunately. So I actually have to Terra here, pop Water. Luckily, my opponent doesn't Terra Ghost or anything and just lets me survive that and get off a Crucial Flame here, get rid of Golden Go, which sets me up really nicely because it outsped my entire team. It lives Sizzle Bullet Punch, for example. Moltres comes in. I know he's going to U-turn. I can't do anything about it, so I just go my Kyurem. He actually doesn't U-turn, which is a little surprising. He goes for a Flame, just trying to get damage off. I go for Icicle Spear because I don't want to let this get to full health. I'm just going to Icicle Spirit so it can never roost up to full. I just want to get consistent damage on it. Flamethrower again. It's all good. I just get another... I get Scale Shot here because I want to outspeed Dragapult to force Garganacl to come in. But still, it's still not over. Even though I have such a big lead, Garganacl with Curse and a Terra type could just be absolutely lethal to my team. I go hard Sizzle here. Mostly because I'm banded. I want to pressure sort of offensive, super effective damage. But I also know there's going to be lefties, so I just get rid of it right away. Because I know those lefties are going to be a nightmare if I don't get rid of them now. He curses twice. And at this point, I'm panicking a little. I'm thinking, what Terra type could this possibly be? I just have no idea. I go into my Tusk here, eat the Salt Cure. I want to force him to Terra by using Headlong Rush. So I just rip it, hope for a crit. No, it still does a nice amount of damage, but it doesn't crit. And he doesn't Terra, which is really strange. And at this point, when I see Garganackle, you know, if I crit, it's over. I just win. And he could Terra to prevent that, but he's not. It makes me think that maybe his Terra type is weak to ground. So it could be one of the more popular Terra types on Garganackle is electric. Like, so at this point, I sort of assume maybe it's electric. I go into my Enamorous, click a Specs Earth Power. Turns out it's Fairy. He just bluffed me by not tearing. He risked a crit, but it was a good bluff. So at this point, I'm like, oh, that's not good. I go into my Scizor here. I'm really low on timer. I only have like 5 seconds left on timer. I panic a little. I think, oh, I made a mistake. I go U-turn to cut my losses. I go cure him. Thank goodness he doesn't recover here. He predicts me to just start ripping bullet punches into him because I went Scizor, right? Why wouldn't I? But I'm actually get a little U-turn chip. And that the chip's actually quite crucial here because it lets me sludge to threaten to kill on Garg and then get the sludge on Dragapult for some crucial damage. I was a little worried about this potentially being fire move, but it's much more likely it's Boots utility like Wisp Hex. So now with my Banded Scizor, after getting that chip on Dragapult and Garganackle, a Fairy type Garganackle at that, I just Bullet Punch once, get the kill, easy peasy, Bullet Punch twice, and take out Garganackle, which is, to be honest, Ox, you know, the sort of, you want to say highest clout opponent in this pool. You know, obviously has an individual trophy, really elite player. So that win, it made me feel really electric, really going on. A lot of momentum, a lot of energy coursing through me. You know, it always feels great to win a big game like this because not only, you know, you're living up to what your team expects, but you're living up to what you expect of yourself, which is very fulfilling in a lot of ways. But we can just move on to my game 2 versus Baloor from Canada. He's been around. We actually made our accounts on the same day on Smogon, which is pretty funny. Like, he made his like an hour after mine. But yeah, he's been around like the overused room for a while. He's okay. He's like pretty good. He's not like Oxifox, but he's definitely a threat. You know, I can't underrate him. I expect him, you know, to use some classic overused room type guy offense, really. So I load this team. I'm not sure who made it. It might have been maybe Mata, who's a Belgian player, really quite a good player. It's like an anti-offense sort of stack. So it's got Dragonite to beat offense. It's got Taunt Tinglu and a Taunt Volcanion. Carmine, Stored Power, Cresselia. Zamazenta, which obviously rips like hyper offense apart. And it's got a Kolba Thunderwave Golden Go, which is obviously another great tech to shut down like Darkrai, for example. But you can see, I'll just start this one up as well. I'm a little unsure what to lead with. I just lead Volcanion because it's a pretty good lead in general. Like, nothing really beats it on his team, like super hard. He knocks. I decided to scout what's going on with this Torn by just clicking a Steam Eruption. I see it's AV. I get no burn, but honestly, in for a penny, in for a pound at this point is what I'm thinking. Just Steam again, hope I get a burn. Which I do. It's pretty good odds to get it, so I don't think that was a bad play at all. I think he's just going to Bleak Wind again at this point, so I go Gold to just eat it. And he does, which is, you know, pretty good switch from me. Here, I'm thinking he'll probably go King Gambit, maybe? Yeah, he does, but I just, yeah, I Thunderwave to catch a King Gambit on the switch. So sort of sabotage it for later in the game. And I go Ting, which is Helmet. Good double from my opponent. Great toss, a great switch there, but it doesn't really achieve a lot because, you know, I just want to scout inside him, see if it's leftovers or not. I see it doesn't take do any healing, so I know it's Boots, so that Ruination was really nice. I got Cresselia here. We sort of switch at the same time, but honestly, it's a good outcome for me because Hydrapple doesn't really do anything. I just rip a Moonblast because, again, I want to pop a balloon on Gold maybe, see if it's lefties. No item. Again, I know this is a Scarf Gold. It's really common, really good. I just sack my Volcanion because nothing... I really don't want to take a trick on my Crest, like a Trick Scarf, because I know it can be a setup a setup threat that sweeps if I just get some Calm Minds off and Golden Go can't trick it or anything, because nothing beats it, right? I set up Rocks, which are good. It's going to force a Tusk to waste its time spinning later, potentially. Giga Drain comes in here. Yeah, it's fine. We're just sort of in a pivoting war right now. This is the nice anti-offense things I have on my team, like a Cresselia to just eat all kinds of special hits. Tinglu, you know, it's really hard to just break through my team with casual chip damage like this. So I go, yeah, we're just doubling back and forth. You know, I don't really feel the need to make some crazy aggressive play. at this stage. He goes for Nasty Plot, but it's not a problem because I'm just going to Calm Mind to match it. And I won't take any damage, really. Draco does a decent amount, but now I can just get away with recovering. So it's like basically back to where we started. And I'm getting slowly more and more chip on that gold over time. I'm still really terrified of that gold. If it didn't trick last time, I didn't think it would trick this time. So I just go into Ting. I don't really want Ting tricked, but I think it's going to Shadow Ball. Yeah, and I'm right. I eat it. That's a good play from me. But now it's like Hydrapple is going to come in or Tusk. Yeah, Hydrapple comes in. So I double to gold to try and cover both. Or to try and cover this as a sort of different way to check Hydrapple. A little bit, you know, off the mark play, just going for Thunder Wave on the pretty obvious Gambit switch. Maybe should have not risked that, but it's fine. Just gives me just a free into Zamazenta pretty much. Low kick is fine. I don't really take anything from that. And now I'm just gonna start like forcing the issue, right? I'm clicking Iron Defense. I'm 3 stages up. My Buddy Press is gonna rip this apart. See, boop, 2-hit KO, 50%. He Nasty Plots, which not really what you want to go for there. I force him to Terra Poison, which is like really good for me because it stops Garg from tearing, which we saw last game. A Terra Garg is just so scary, right? But I just start slamming into this thing, just trying to get damage on it. You know, I forced a Terra. This is already a good trade for me because Zamazenta's just not really what I wanted to win with anyway. Hydrapple's so low. I think about what I want to go into. I go into Dragonite as my revenge killer. I just click at EQ. He gives it up. I believe he goes into Tusk here. Yep, Tusk here. And I'm thinking, well, he's going to spin here to get rid of those rocks. So I'll just DD on the spin. And then from this position, I'm like, well, hang on a minute. What does he have to stop me from just, you know, Ice Spin is not going to do anything if I Terra. I'll just pop it again. Now I'm +2. You know, immediately it's looking really quite good for me. Because I just EQ, take it out. That always kills, no matter what, even if it's like max defense. He goes into his Garg. He's used his Terra, so he's weak to EQ. EQ here has a 60% chance to just kill, flat out. And if it kills, I just win the game. So I go for it, I rip it. Nah, 2%, it lives barely. Which is like, that's alright. He body presses, I think he should have short cured, but he body presses for more damage, that's fine. I just kill Garg. The problem is now, I'm open up to a Sucker Punch 50-50 type game. But it's a little in my favor because he's paralyzed. So it's more like, sort of like 60-65% odds I win. I E-speed, beat out the first Sucker Punch because it has better priority. And now, do I EQ? Do I Sucker? It's a guess, and either way, he can get parried even if he guesses right. So I E-speed, hoping he gets parried or goes for Sucker. Nah, he low kicks. Good play. Well, it's not really a good play. It's just a lucky guess, but it was the right guess. I went for E-speed to get damage no matter what, even if I lost a 50-50. So you could argue there's some Nash equilibrium type stuff going on, if you know what that is. Shout out to business classes. But I just EQ. I just need to get Kingambit out, so I just EQ, even though it's maybe a slower, more predictable play. I get rocks up because I really need chip on that gold for my gold to kill it with Hex later in the game, and I also want to keep this Torn low. I want to keep Kingambit in range of Hex as well. I just go hard into this thing. Bleak Wind misses, that's nice. It doesn't really matter though. Here I think I literally just rip Hex on the U-turn because I want to kill that Kingambit. He goes into Kingambit, you know, as expected. Hex comes in, boom, it's paralyzed, so it dies. Yep, goes down, which is pretty nice. Golden Go comes in. I'm like, okay, so wait, this turn's important. He's either gonna Shadow Ball, or he's going to Make It Rain. If he clicks Make It Rain, I can go Cress, eat the Make It Rain, and then switch back to Gold, because either he has to Make It Rain again because he's Scarf, I eat it, and I kill something with Hex and I win the game. Or, other alternative, he clicks Shadow Ball, I go Ting, I eat. It's not even a 2-hit KO, it's a 3-hit KO, which means I threaten EQ to kill it. He has to go this, as I'll Ruination as he goes that. Because of the Rocks damage, the way it works out, Rocks plus Burn means 2 Ruinations will kill with Burn, I believe. And he can't kill me ever, really. Like, there's some math I had to run about this, but essentially the way it works is this Torn will die and it will leave my Ting-Lu at about 11-12%, which will live Shadow Ball if it comes back in after Torn dies. I'm thinking at this point, well, I have to guess, is he going to Shadow Ball or is he going to Make It Rain? I don't want to give up any HP on Crest because my Hex actually only has a 50% chance to kill this Golden Go back, is the thing. So I want to be able to have Crest to take a hit and then Moonblast to confirm the kill afterwards, which is sort of ideal for me, obviously. So I really want to keep HP on Crest, so I just go Ting, hoping he goes for the Shadow Ball coin flip. Let's see, what does he go for? He goes for Make It Rain. That's a bit sad, but my odds to win is still pretty good. So I'm just drinking some water. Golden Go comes in. I get a free recover off because I know it's making it rain. I know Torn's coming in. I'm Kolba. I'm hoping he knockoffs, because if he knockoffs and falls for my bait, Shadow Ball will never kill. But he's burnt, so he's just honestly going in Bleak Wind. Risky, he hits, and he gets a max roll on Bleak Wind, which really does matter, because now we're in this horrible spot where his Shadow Ball now has a 66%, like a 2 in 3 chance to kill me. I just hope. I missed a bunch of 60%. Does he miss it? No, he doesn't miss it. He gets his 60% roll. And then at this point, GG. It's annoying. It's a little annoying. I had like 4 times where I had like a over 50% chance to instantly win just based on coin flips or damage rolls. I don't get it, and he gets his. To his credit, to my opponent's credit, he did play well. He saw his odds. He put himself in a position to play for those odds. And he got the odds. I can't really get mad at that. That's just Pokemon at the end of the day. You know, pretty sad outcome, but we keep moving. We lose sometimes. That's life. I move on to my last game. This game was tricky. This was the very last day of the tournament. It just I'll just play it, but this was really a heartbreaking game. It's against Cow, player from the UK. They've been doing pretty well. Credit to them. I'll just play it. Sorry, I might skip through this one a little bit because it's a bit long and drawn out, but long story short, my Clefable's Life Orb, 3 attacks. My Oakapon only has Ivy Cudgel, so it just loses to Dozo. He has 2 forms of hazard removal. The Kyurem just absolutely shreds my team. Like, if you look, I have really nothing to deal with the Kyurem. Yeah, Thunderwave comes in. Cripples my King Gambit, which already couldn't get past these 2 things anyway. The Dondozo and Corviknight. Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's what happens, to be honest. I'll just, yeah. This matchup, I get a Flame, which is nice. He doesn't expect it, but literally the matchup's so lopsided that this team I'm using, it's not a bad team for the record. I played a lot of tests. I played on ladder, like a high ladder. I played test games with it with some of my teammates, and I won those test games like fairly convincingly. It's a good team, but it's made by an Italian player, well, a Moroccan player who lives in Italy called ZS, who's, you know, a good player. I like some of their teams generally. But oh my god, it pulled the absolute most nightmarish matchup it could hit. Literally no chance of winning. Like, even my opponent would like apologized because they knew nothing I could do in this game would change the outcome. There was just full autopilot, which, you know, good prep from them, right? I can't get mad. I'll just skip ahead a little because it's a little, you know, once the sub goes up, I'm just stuck for it. I literally can't break the sub. I miss a Bleak Wind, which is like insult to injury, but it doesn't even matter. Plus goes down. Yeah, I'm just getting straight. I have the Terror there, but Foul Play does literally no damage to Slowking or Corviknight. The spikes, I'm only Ivy Cudgel. Ivy Cudgel spikes U-turn Synthesis, which of course gets walled by Dondozo. It can't really threaten Corviknight very well because it has no way to boost. I'm just getting whittled down. You know, it's a little sad because going into my game, I wanted to load this. Wait, sorry, I just fixing my screen region for you there. I wanted to load this, the Wo-Chien Challenge Removal Spam Stall. This stall team, it's got Wo-Chien on it. It's absolutely crazy. I was practicing with this. I was doing really well with it. But the thing about, you know, stall, my team were like, you know, Drifting, don't use it. It's a bad idea. You're better than this guy. We back you to win. The thing about stall, it's a spectrum sort of way. One end you have defense, one end you have offense. And when you go too heavy on one side, you are very rigid in what you're allowed to do, right? Like, you don't really have any flexibility in your plays, so to speak. So if they have, sorry, if I scroll down to see the threat list, sorry, my screen's tearing a little bit, but if my opponent had like any of these things, lights out, really. Like, there's nothing I can do. So my team were like, don't use this. Use a sort of balance, like something you're more flexible with. Just outplay because you're the better player. Which, you know, I can't get mad at them because they're right. I should back myself to win instead of just relying on a sort of gimmicky team. But, oh my god, this team had perfect matchup against what my opponent loaded. I really wish I'd loaded this, but it's fine. So, yeah, these were the final standings. You see Oceania's coming in 11th place there. So tragic, 15-15. We missed out by one game. The top 8 qualify, 16-14. So it makes that last game even sadder. You know, there I am, 1-2. It's not my best record, but, you know, it could have been worse. It always could have been worse, right? That's what you have to remember. Yeah, I was a little sad, I'll be honest, to be real for a second. You know, a lot of passion and emotion goes into doing anything at a top level, I think. You know, once a year, the sort of blood, sweat, and tears that, you know, me and my friends on this team, that we all put up, is really something. Not even my team, every team's putting in, again, so much time, energy, and, you know, missing out for the first time in 3 years on playoffs. It sucks, but what can you do sometimes? We still went pretty well. We finished with an even record. It's not bad. We're not relegated or anything. But, you know, basically that was my World Cup tournament this year. I hope, you know, it was entertaining. You enjoyed my commentary, analysis. Maybe it taught you something. Maybe it helped you. Or it was just entertaining. I hope you got something out of it. Sorry if it's a bit rambly. Usually I prefer to script things so I don't just go on tangents for a long time, but I felt it was best to just do this as a live sort of commentary and analysis. But that being said, that's it from me. So thanks for watching, and see ya. I'll be with you next time I can.